me tell you about a friend. It's Craig LeBlanc where the good times never end. Talking Parks and Rec, it's a show you gotta know. Welcome one and all to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. It's the Daily Parks and Rec Show.
You can still have the impact that you're hoping for without even realizing that you're helping change the next generation and helping take care of the current generation. You know, taking into account the world that we're living in right now. We are stewards of our resources, so we just have so many opportunities to serve for now and for the future.
Welcome back to the Daily Parks and Rec Show, live from the 2025 GRPA Conference. Today, we sit down with special guest Jordon Gonzalez from Acworth Parks and Recreation, fresh off her presentation helping first-time attendees get the most out of conference week. From networking nights that feel like a family reunion to the powerful impact of volunteer leadership, Jordon shares why GRPA isn't just an event, it's a homecoming for Parks and Rec professionals across Georgia. Let's dive in.
All right, so we're live again from this is Craig LeBlanc with the Daily Parks and Rec Show, live from the GRPA annual convention here in Jekyll Island. And I've got one of our special guests, Jordon Gonzalez. How are you doing today?
Hello, doing great. Thank you so much.
How was now it's only been a few hours. How is it so far?
Well, so I actually got in last night and helped open up with the first networking event down at the mini golf. And then, yeah, it's been the first day of sessions. I did a small presentation and I've attended two, and now it's halfway through the day already. It's been going by fast.
Okay, so we're going to speak on both of those, your presentation, but first tell people what these evening events are like.
Sure. So we have partners that GRPA is able to come alongside to put on our network social events. And those partners, those vendors, some are Playworks, Game Time. We come alongside them to provide social opportunities for our membership to come together, network together, meet new people, play games, have fun, and take what they've learned throughout the day, maybe have those conversations later at the night, but really just be able to network and socialize together.
Yeah, it really is a big social component.
Sure.
It's not all about learning. They actually have a great time over here. It's kind of like a family reunion.
That balance, it sure is. It definitely is.
How many years have you been coming to GRPA?
So I've been a member since 2019. So this is probably my fifth conference. COVID pandemic kind of made it look a little different, and then I've had just some motherhood changes where I wasn't able to attend. So this is about my fourth or fifth conference.
Fantastic. All right. So what did you speak on?
So this morning I did a presentation. It was very quick, getting the most out of conference presentation. Some things that we learned from our members that come to a conference, whether it's Jekyll or Columbus for the first time, is they don't really know what to do. They don't know what to expect. You just said earlier, it feels like a family reunion. Some people feel a little left out. And so we created these sessions to start conference every year so people just understand what it means when we talk about an awards banquet or at the exhibit hall, what the purpose is for that. We have the Duffers Delight golf tournament happening right now on the golf course, what that does for the LCF Leisure Careers Foundation. So it's just a really quick introductory presentation that's tailored to those who have never been to a GRPA conference. Yeah.
So this is kind of like a little explainer. Here's what to expect.
Exactly. Yep. And so we kind of go through the day by day. We talk, like we just mentioned earlier, talk about the networking events, talk about the different types of sessions, all the things to expect from the exhibit hall, what to expect from the awards meeting, our banquet, the business meeting, pretty much what the whole week should look like. And then with a little asterisk of like, have fun, be yourself, but behave.
That's it.
That's right.
There, don't get caught.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, how did you get chosen for that?
So I currently serve on the board of trustees for GRPA. I am the Recreation Programming Network Chair. So as chair for that network, I serve on BOT, which is alongside other network chairs. The commissioners for all 7 districts for GRPA are also on the BOT board of trustees and executive committee. And then it also is with the president-elect, vice president. They all serve on that. So often we kind of get chosen or selected to help out in different capacities. I'm helping as an ambassador for conference, leading my own network meeting. And so I was kind of asked to assist with leading one of those sessions this morning. There was about 5 different sessions that were all covering that same topic, getting the most out of conference. So I was really happy to do it.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
And let's see. So if someone's new to these conventions, is there anything you kind of advice you would give them in addition to what you just said?
For sure. I think the hardest part for folks that are new to conference is to not stick to what you know. A lot of people that are new, they stay next to the people in their agency the whole time. They go to the same sessions together. And I really just encourage people, this is your one opportunity to walk alongside and sit alongside and learn alongside people from all across the state. And so go to sessions that might put you out of your comfort zone. Talk to people at networking events or just in the hallway. If you just make a quick introductory conversation and shake hands. If you have a business card, you can pass that out too. But I think creating those small connections is what then makes, and this was part of my conversation that I had this morning with everyone, was that one little conversation can make a lifelong friendship, honestly. And it makes conference feel like a family reunion. I have people that I only see 4 days a year, and it's these 4 days that we have this annual conference, but it feels like coming back home to family and friends that you've known for a long time.
Okay, so GRPA is, for the most part, a volunteer-driven
Sure.
organization. So maybe speak about, what kind of motivated you to volunteer to take in a leadership role with GRPA?
Sure. So like I mentioned, I joined as a member in 2019. I worked for a different agency at the time, and I really just was trying to explore this career. I had come from collegiate recreation and was involved with the different conferences involved through NERSA, which is that association. So I was used to conferences, workshops, things like that. And I really wanted to see what more public and government recreation had to offer. And so my supervisor at the time just recommended me to go to a district meeting, which was all of us in D7 at the time. And so I really got to see how it operated on a very small and more local level. I also was really curious because my personality, I want to get out of the four walls of my job. And especially if I feel like I'm doing really well and I got everything kind of under control. But as it relates to the office, I want to see what else I can do. What can I do as it correlates to recreation, but maybe on a larger scale? And that for me is definitely where GRPA plays a big part. Is I get to do all of the things I love to do. I get to learn from others, network with others, but then see it kind of expand to the state level. I get to lead the recreation programming network and help other programmers, whether in South Georgia, East, West, Central Georgia, Atlanta, and really just expand on their creativity like I like to do for my own job. So it is volunteer-based for sure, but I think it really helps pull in the passion that I had originally for this field and just helps reignite that when sometimes the daily job requirements can sometimes drain that out of you. GRPA really helps reignite passions and interest and creativity. At least it does for me.
Yeah. So let's go back to, who you were in high school and college.
Sure.
Did you have any exposure to Parks and Rec in general or through sports or something like that?
So I feel like my story is very similar to a lot of Parks and Recies. Like I grew up playing sports. My mom worked for the Leisure Services Department. So I grew up volunteering at the 4th of July Festival and concert and being a junior summer camp counselor, even though I was like 10 and I probably shouldn't have been. But it's one of those opportunities where I got to kind of just see from her perspective. She was a hard worker, single mom, and she was a community servant. And she definitely demonstrated servant leadership in our household. So I played sports all through high school, had small injuries through college, but I still played recreational sports and intramural sports in college. Like I said, I was really interested in the collegiate recreational sports. I moved from Southern California to Georgia and was really just focused on, I'm going to get a job at UGA. I'm going to work in collegiate sports. And at the time, there was an opening in the recreation department in the area that I lived. So I was like, well, let me just get something, quick and easy just to get my foot in the door while I wait for this UGA. That was my goal. And I just fell in love with it. I didn't realize like what I grew up doing as a participant was what I wanted to do for others. And I just was able to kind of grow that and learn from a lot of my mentors in this field and learn how to just challenge myself and again, explore passion and see where else I can serve others beyond just my four walls or beyond my community. And GRP is a big part of that for me now.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a little promo that we made for the industry about why Parks and Rec should be considered a career path for young college students and stuff. So I want to play that and get your feedback on it. Maybe you can give your testimony as to why you chose it. So we'll play this and then we'll come right back.
Okay, sounds good.
Every career is a choice, but few careers let you touch lives. Not once in a while, but every single day. Step into a park on a Saturday morning. You'll hear children laughing on the soccer field, families gathering for a picnic, seniors walking the trails, finding health and friendship. And behind every smile, every memory, is a Parks and Rec professional. We don't just mow fields, we grow confidence in young athletes. We don't just build playgrounds, we create safe spaces where childhood thrives. We don't just plan events, we design moments that anchor generations. Think of the coach who teaches patience, the director who champions equity, the staff member who sees potential in a child no one else believed in. Every day, Parks and Rec professionals shape character, preserve beauty, and strengthen community. And the path isn't easy. Budgets are tight, resources stretched thin, but the reward, unmatched. Because what you give comes back in legacy, in healthier communities, in lives forever changed. So why dedicate your life to Parks and Recreation? Because here, your work never ends. It lives on, in laughter echoing across playgrounds, in green spaces preserved for the next century, in the young professionals rising to lead tomorrow. This is not just a career, it's a calling, it's a legacy, it's Parks and Recreation. A message from the Parks and Rec community.
All right. So why don't you give your take on the video and then your testimony to young professionals or people that are maybe undecided with their career.
So that video was 100% right. Like the vision and the mission for Acworth Parks Recreation Community Resource Department, my department, is to create extraordinary experiences and to provide quality services through exceptional people. And our culture statement is to love and care for one another. And the one thing that we really like about our vision, our mission, and our culture statements is it's not just from us to the community or from us to each other. It's just us to everyone. We want to create an extraordinary experience in the workplace, in the office, in our 9 to 5. We want to create an extraordinary experience for Halloween or for Christmas. We want to have a culture of loving and caring for one another, whether it's me to a summer camp parent who's struggling to pay, or if it's for me to one of my coworkers whose family is going through something. And I think that Parks and Recreation really, really shows where community can come together. I mean, when we saw the effects of the pandemic and how it shook up the world, Parks and Rec was where we saw we were so essential to everyone's everyday mental health, which was huge for us. Our physical health, I think, is when people think for Parks and Recreation, playing baseball, football, things like that. But the ability for people to connect, find their own community, find their own just group that they get along with. We have active adults that, could have just been stuck at home, but now they have a place, they have friendships, they have even partnerships that they've created in their second lives through our programs that our department offers. So I just think the things that Parks and Rec departments offer far go beyond just trophies and certificates of completion and participation and things like that. It's impacting people's lives in such a huge way. And it's really one of those things that it's not always tracked with statistics or, what's our return on investment? Because sometimes you can't tell. But when you see these people that come back or the parents that write a letter say, thank you so much for mentoring my son. He was able to get into college and he's the first person in our family to do that. I think those are the things that we don't realize the impact that we're having as Parks and Rec professionals, but we are on a daily basis. And so to those that are, on the border, or if they're thinking, I want to get in recreation, but really I want to work with the Atlanta Hawks, or I want to work for the Falcons organization. Trevor Lawrence played rec ball, Jaylen Brown played rec ball. So at some point, you can still have the impact that you're hoping for without even realizing that you're helping change the next generation and helping take care of the current generation. And even, taking into account the world that we're living in right now, we are stewards of our resources. So we just have so many opportunities to serve for now and for the future. So if you're, on the fence or on the border, or just like I was so determined and so set on, I played in sports and I loved college. So I'm going to do collegiate sports. And I was set on that. I would definitely take advantage if there's any opportunities to attend GRPA meetings, attend any of your Parks and Recreation department meetings. If you're in college still, I know there's usually Parks and Recreation courses that you can take that may or may not count as an elective. I encourage you to just dabble, explore, be curious. This is something I tell my youth participants, is to always be curious. And if you have something inside you that's just barely even a question, explore that, because you never know where it's going to lead you.
That's fantastic. We actually produce another podcast for female leaders. I don't know if you know Shonda Smith and is it? I forget her. Rosalind.
Okay.
Up in Connecticut. But we helped them produce the show. You should come on that show and give your testimony.
That would be great.
So, is there anybody in Parks and Rec that was a big influence, I guess, in your life throughout the years?
So I have two people. When I think about like the influence, I have two big people that I think of. One was my supervisor when I first moved to Georgia. Like I said, I was coming from Southern California, had just graduated, and I have 2 degrees, and I'm going to get a job at UGA, and all of the plans and the goals. And it didn't start to work out that way. And this person not only gave me a chance, they had almost filled the position and really saw my application. It was like, let's just check her out. And not only did he give me a chance, but he allowed me to explore. He allowed me to be me and really learn in the way that I learn best. And that really helped stoke the fire that I had of like, what else can I do? Who else can I serve? So my first supervisor that I ever had in Parks and Recreation, as I know it now, Trevor at Athens, Clark County, he was a great mentor for me getting started. And then currently where I'm at now, our director, Kim Watt, she's been like a huge support just through everything in my personal life. And again, just someone that saw me for my potential, saw me for what I have to offer, on paper and how I present. And it's been my whole life. I present as a leader and the person that will lead the group project, but she sees so much more in that and the growth and the potential I have to grow as a person. She supported me and my family through so many things that we've gone through. And I'm just so grateful for her leadership. And again, like to your point earlier, she's a woman in recreation, which is, now not becoming as rare, but in her time, it definitely was. And so just admired her for that. And so she's definitely the second person that just really played a big role in where I am now, encouraged me to be involved in GRPA, encouraging me not to be afraid to ask questions or go shake hands or be in the room. She definitely showed me what it takes to be courageous and be a woman in this field and be successful at the same time.
Yeah, fantastic. And where do you see yourself in the next 4 or 5 years, or 10 years even?
4 or 5. So I just did a session with Jan, and she helped us create our development plan. So I will say in the next 4 or 5 years, it used to be I'm going to be in this role and doing this things and making this much money. 4 or 5 years, I want to be happy. I want to have healthy children. I want to have a healthy marriage. I want to be recreating in any way possible. I want to be traveling and seeing. Me and my family, we love to camp at different state parks and recreation parks. So I hope to have completed that list of the places that we visited and the places we've taken our children to. And I hope wherever my career has landed me, that I'm in a place that's healthy and balanced, and that I can still just be myself, be my unique, authentic, and creative self.
Man, fantastic message.
Sure.
Well, Jordon, thank you so much for coming on the show today. I really
Thanks so
appreciate
much.
all your service that you do for the local community, and have a great rest of your convention.
Thank you so much.
All right, take care.
Are you a vendor, brand, or service provider ready to connect with the heartbeat of local communities? At DPRS Media Co., we tell the stories shaping parks and recreation across America. Through podcasts, live streams, videos, and newsletters, we reach frontline leaders, city directors, and decision makers every single week. From youth sports and facilities to programming and policy, our audience is your audience. Sponsoring or partnering with DPRS Media Co. puts your brand in front of the professionals who build, budget, and buy for their communities. Launching a new product, growing your presence in public spaces, targeting cities, counties, or departments, DPRS is your trusted media partner. Whether you're in software, turf, aquatics, robotics, smart cities, or special events, partnering with DPRS puts your brand in the story. With commercials, interviews, social campaigns, newsletters, and live shows, we're your media team. Partner with us and grow your impact in the $200 billion parks and rec industry. DPRS Media Co. Stories that move parks and rec forward. Your audience is here. Let's meet them.